In a word, no. And let's not forget, there's never been a successful impeachment of an American president that has led to his removal from office. I'm sure many viewers will say, what about Richard Nixon? Well, Richard Nixon resigned before he was totally impeached. The only the two impeachments in American presidential history have led to those two presidents remaining in office. That's Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton, of course. Right now, if you look at the straight numbers, the Republican Party control both the House of Representatives and the Senate, both chambers of which are essential for an impeachment process. The House of Representatives would consider articles of impeachment if they were found to be high crimes and misdemeanors that are worth addressing. It would then move to the Senate, where the senators would sit as a jury, effectively, under the Chief Justice, and decide whether they were grounds for removal from office, and you would need a supermajority, 2/3, to remove Donald Trump from office. The numbers are not even close to that at this point.
So, however much noise this causes, Donald Trump is going nowhere unless there is a shock outcome in the midterms.
As of right now, Donald Trump is going nowhere. There is a political angle to this, and there is a legal angle to this. And right now, Donald Trump's legal problems are mounting, but as a sitting president, he would appear to be immune from those until he left office. His political troubles are mounting because, of course, we now see the midterm elections looming in just over 70 days. If this has a knock-on effect in terms of public opinion, and the Republicans are trounced, and control of the House and the Senate were to move to the Democrats, then all of a sudden his opponents would be in charge of running the game. And all of a sudden at that point you could start investigations and potential moves to impeachment. But again, I remind everybody that in the Senate you would still need a supermajority to remove Donald Trump, and at this point the Republican Party seemed to be fixed on sticking with the president.
Can I get into the mood music? Because all along he's denied any collusion with the Russians in the election campaign, and there's been a real us against them and them being the Russians, so separating it out, we're not with them, and denying it. But now when you look at the comments on the back of what's just happened this week, he's praised Manafort, his former campaign manager, for not breaking. Not breaking when he's been pressured to cooperate with federal prosecutors. This is the Americans. So do you think he's now starting to get the language wrong in the press, and do you think people would start to object, saying, well, this is giving an image of an elite club that's not cracking when pressured by federal prosecutors?
I think you're right, but I think the analogy is not with an elite club, but with organised crime. If you look at how the case is being built by Mueller against potentially the president, he's going along the lines that you would if you were building a case against an organised crime family. You go after the lower levels, the lieutenants, and you start getting convictions against them, you turn them, they bring evidence against the head of the family, effectively. Likewise, if you look at what Donald Trump is doing in terms of his response, he's praising those individuals who maintain, the code of silence, in this case Paul Manafort, and attacking those who turn state witness as rats, for example. The language is telling, as you rightly pick up, but I think the analogy is more with organised crime than with an elite group, for example. And that, of course, raises all kinds of questions.
So the end of the road for the lawyers, what is it? Because it seems that they went after him trying to get that big ticket item on collusion with the Russians, but they may not get it, and they're certainly not able to achieve that even with the campaign manager or with the lawyer. But what they might be able to get down the track is something else. You've seen a whole heap of bank fraud charges, tax charges. Do you think they might go after Trump for something lower level like that rather than collusion? Is that the end of the road too for him?
Again, the analogy here is with the 1990s. When Bill Clinton was president, he was forced to appoint a special prosecutor. He was warned against it and told, if you do this, it'll be a roving searchlight. They'll find something and they'll get you for it. They'll get you on the stand and they'll get you for perjury, which is exactly what happened. The investigation was about Whitewater, a land deal that went wrong, and it ended up with Monica Lewinsky. Here you have a situation whereby Robert Mueller was tasked to investigate Russia. Now all of a sudden we're talking about a whole variety of other issues, bringing in his co-collaborators effectively at this point. So whilst Donald Trump is right to say, where's the collusion, where's this all about Russia, we've now seen Michael Cohen's attorney saying Michael Cohen knows about Russia, he's prepared to play ball with Robert Mueller and to turn the tables on President Trump. This is going to have a huge impact, I think, not only politically in the United States, but for the markets. We were talking about the state of the US economy. The idea that, where's the stability going to go? If now Donald Trump's presidency starts to come into question, if the knock-on effect of the tariffs in key congressional districts starts to bite, as it is, This can have a huge impact for the midterms and moving forward into the second half of Donald Trump's term in office.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.